source, play. Okay, now I've got a blank to set in, so let's see what happens when we press play, see if there's anything on it. Nope, nothing to speak of, good. So let's go to record. There we go, now we're recording. Go to play. There's nothing coming off the tape. Oh well, that would have been too much to hope for. So that's the bias, or no, I think that's the erase cable, and this is the recording cable. Something's coming through, but it's way off. Tape, source. Okay, so what's happening? Alright, first thing we'll do is take this off, see if it's not any strange leakage or anything. Okay, so something's getting on the tape. That's the recording two cables, left and right. We'll put it back on. Now let's take off the arrays, see what happens. Yeah, no difference, didn't think. Might be interesting to see if there is an erase current. Let's get the oscilloscope onto the erase signal and the record signals. Just let's see what's there, if anything. Right, have a look at the crow. That's the right channel, I think. Left channel, nothing, yeah, okay. Alright, so what's going on? Yeah, we get intermittent crap on the connector going to the head on the right. The left seems to have almost nothing, although occasionally there's something there. And if we increase the line input, we do get stuff happening on the cathode ray oscilloscope, and likewise with the front. But it's almost like a series of square waves. It's not very good. Yeah, it probably needs the connector back on to load it. But I see no 105 kilohertz, which to me means there's no bias. So we have to find out what happened to the bias. And that's obvious because on the erase connector here, that little white one, there's nothing there, so it won't record properly without the bias. Now, in previous machines, Nakamichis that I've worked on, it's generally been a couple of the dreaded orange caps around the oscillator circuit, and as far as I can tell, I would say it's in this area on CPU A, the top board. Don't know, I'll have to find out where it is, but that's my suspicion. There's a lot of coils there, 6 coils, adjustable coils, and a few little orange caps. There's one set here and one set here, which that could be also compensation for, yes, that'll be 2 sets of compensation for the types of cassette. I think this only takes chromium and type 1. I don't think it does type 4. But there's also another little section here with a large orange drop. I'll find out. I'll get back. Right, I've realised that this from main PCB is actually the audio going to this CPU B top board here. So the audio is coming in left to right, which I'll put a probe on it next to just see if it's there okay or not. And from there it goes, well, directly to the record heads. Okay. We still have to find out if there's bias. Well, there's not, but we'll find out why it's missing, hopefully soon. But yeah, let's see if there's audio on these two. Some crappy music going in at the moment. Let's see if we can see anything. Left, nothing. Right, nothing. Reach the end of the tape. Righto. We'll go again. Record, play, and away it goes. Well, looking at the oscilloscope, there doesn't appear to be much getting through. I think I'm going to have to revert to a tone rather than the music. I need to be able to see it more clearly. Alright, I'll set that up. Okay, I've got a 1 kHz tone going into it now. Of course, it gets very annoying after a while, so we'll keep the volume to a minimum. Okay, now, test pointing these two positions from the main going in. Doesn't appear to be anything there. Anyway, I'm getting tone there, but nothing in the right channel. Left channel I'm getting, yeah, good signal, and I can increase it, decrease it with the line in. Terrific. The right channel, something's there, I can hear it, but I can't see it. I suspect it's not getting through, and whatever I'm hearing is leakage or something, not sure. Two things I still need to do. Get the bias to work and find out why the right channel audio coming in here is low. To find out where this white cable goes, with the missing signal on the red there, goes down there somewhere into the main board in theory, but I just can't. Well, okay, I've not wasted time, but I've discovered that yeah, we've got a right channel missing coming into this board, which goes into the cable for the recording head, and also the bias 105 kilohertz is missing. And I'm going to go away and have a good look at this circuit diagram and try to see if I can figure out what it's doing. There's a lot of, these are the two areas that go to the recording heads. That's the area that goes to the raised head. But as you can see, there's a lot of gubbins controlling it. There's the oscillator there. 105 kilohertz comes out there through that AND gate and over to these two NAND gates, and then off to somewhere over to there. But there's also a 32 or 92, not sure which, kilohertz signal that's meant to be there, and that also goes off to it. Don't know what that's meant to be doing. And what are these two chips supplying variations on that output to each of the left and right recording head? I'm not sure what that's meant to be doing. Possibly some sort of EQ or bias arrangement. Not sure yet. I doubt there's a description of what it's doing, but it's hard to tell what it's meant to be doing until I get the actual oscillator working. So I have to see if there's something stopping it, like a power supply or some logic signal. So I'm going to go back through and see if I can see the best way to figure out why it's not working. Although at the moment it really looks like there's 1.68 megahertz crystal and its associated IC 807 op amps aren't working because there's nothing coming out of it at all. So that's a bit sad. Now I also need to find out what type of crystal it is, because there's various types of crystals. So there's a bit of investigation to do, and I'll come back and then hopefully have a plan of attack as to why it's not working, what I need to replace if I do, and how all of this works, and if I can enable it to work even if the logics before it aren't right. So, a bit to do. All right, I'll go away and have a good think about it. After much doing, once again I'm back to, now that the relays are working, I now am looking at the signal CN46 into the left-hand record EQ amp PCB and the output of that CN45, and I'm finding that there's a drop in level and the right hand side is quite a bit down, and there seems to be a little bit of irregularity with it as well. So we'll see if we can show you. Right, this is the left and the right going into the board on CN46. Coming out of this board is the left, which is down, a little bit jiggly, and the right hand down quite a bit more and even more jiggly. So, and I've moved the board around and I can't really see what could be possibly wrong. So first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the wires, or sorry, the leads that go to the CPU board. They control how the EQ works, so I'll disconnect those. Right, now let's see if that makes a difference. Right, going in, have fairly strong in right channel. Now coming out, CN45, left channel, a bit jaggledy, down a bit. The right hand one still down. So those control connectors, CN51 and CN52, aren't really doing anything. So what is it in the board that's causing mischief? Well, I guess we'll, as an initial step, I think we'll just take the board out. Okay, well here it is. This is the left hand, what's it called? The record EQ amp PCB. There's two connectors. Alright, it sits in like that. Two connectors at the top, sorry, like that. Two connectors on top that go to the CPU PCB, CPU PCB, I think, to control what goes on. There's all these 4508. I think they're analog switches from memory, but anyway, doesn't matter. Some sort of control. There's four of them, and they control a whole heap of FETs, which I dare say control the amount of EQ that's being applied. Now, what we need to do is follow the signal path and see if we can find something. You never know, there might be a faulty orange cap or two. Wouldn't surprise me. Alright, I'll do that. Well, just going over the board with the multimeter, I immediately found an orange capacitor that has gone short. It's what is it, 1 nanofarad orange cap. I do have the kit for replacing a lot of the capacitors. I'm not sure if C11 is in it. I might have a look, but actually I'll have to have a look just in case it is there. I can put it straight in. Oh, I don't believe it. It is short. Oh my God. That means the other one is shorted too. Oh dear. So that was C219, now it's C119. Yep. Well, that's 3 orange caps on the one board so far that are faulty. Ah dear. Alright, so I need to try and see if these caps are in the kit that I've got. These two that went here, they're in the kit, C119 and C219, and as I thought, 620 picofarad or puff. The other one is C111. Yes, that's in there too, as well as C211, which is, yeah, 1000 picofarad or 1 nanofarad. Oh, okay. It's probably not a bad idea to change a whole lot of them. I've got to change 4 of them. There's only another 6 to do. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 to do all up. Oh, might as well do it now. I'll go and find them and I'll get back to you. Right, that's good. Okay, I ended up replacing all of the orange caps. There was 12 of them all up, and since 3 were faulty, I thought while I was at it I might as well do the rest. So there, oh well, took a little bit of time. I wasn't planning on doing it now, but at least I know that board's done. So now what I'll do is put it back in and see whether our signal is actually getting through now. Just to remind, I'm following the input recording signal. I wasn't getting any recording, no bias, so of course it would be nothing sensible, but I ended up tracing the audio first before I fixed the bias. So hopefully this will solve it. Just reconnected it, and just listening to it. Oh, that's on playback. Source, playback. It's actually recording something. Of course, without bias, it's distorted. That's encouraging. Alright, so there's still something not quite right. Still have a difference in level, even though they're both there now. So what we're looking at here is the output of the record EQ, the far left hand board. Alright, so there's still something not quite right with this record EQ board. We have an imbalance in the level in the record EQ amp. Don't know why, but it's there.